This is for people on sort of self-awareness journey. You're not really doing it, won't really mean much to you. But I was having a thought about the way we move through the journey on the internal parts and the parts where we are actively using our outer reality to reflect back to us deep inner wisdom about self. And I feel like a lot of times on this journey we'll get caught up in situations that really harangue you. They are earth-shattering, they're thought-provoking, they're utterly maddening and evocative. They're incredibly evocative, and we can get stuck in those to a point where we have to go ask for help. There's all the self-help people that are around, and you got to find the one that's speaking to your situation and you are speaking your language. But what I think about those, I think about the time we spend in them, and I think a lot of times maybe the longer time we spend in them is the ones that are a little bit harder to get the true hidden deep spiritual meaning of it. You might come to knowledge on throughout the layers of it. You'd be like, oh, that triggered my jealousy, that triggered my anger, that triggered my shutdown, that triggered blah blah blah, right? And you'll get good at that, and then you'll be like, all right, everything should be fine now, right? We can move on to the next lesson, next thing, and then it doesn't, and you're harung. So I think with that, they're just the deeper, harder lessons to get to in realizing how closely aligned or how deeply evocative of a very specific side of self that we do not want to be that situation, person, or whatever came to. Golly, bug. This one's been very persistent. Like, as soon as I whack him, he goes right back. Oh, you see him. Kind of like Simba here. This little rat meat suit. Are you good? Don't fucking, gonna knock everything over. Go. Sorry. He just does whatever the fuck he wants. Kind of nice, I guess. Kind of nice for you. But I think that that's the hardest, you know, especially if it's between something like love and hate, right? I mean, there's lots of it. The paradoxes of this dualistic place. Love and hate, if you say something like that, lives on a spectrum. The very end of one almost comes back around and touches the other. Betrayal. That's why betrayal is so big. So if you're in that particular karmic loop over and over and over again, the closer you come to that loop, the closer you see the similarities between that thing that was absolutely opposing and atrocious to you. But it's not on the simple surface level, so don't get me wrong. I'll sit there and go, yeah, see, I know I was a fucking asshole. And this is why people get shit wrong when they're teaching. Because they're teaching to most people based from a 3D lens and listening from a 3D lens. Or at least they think it's 4. Some of them think it's 5. It goes way out. Holy shit, that cactus. I wish I could turn this around. This cactus looks like an alien playing peekaboo. I don't know if I can get it. I'll have to see if it showed up after. But at any rate, that particular dynamic and loop is difficult to see because you have to move through usually a lens of betrayal, deep grief. It's like losing people who aren't dead. There's actually this sort of a hang up in the grief cycle of acceptance a lot of times with that. So seeing that from the pulled out lens and seeing how closely related your spiritual entities are, and then using that for, you know, forgiveness and moving on and whatever else you can glean from it. But That's not easy to get to. And most people are talking on a whole different level, but they're using the language from out here. So people then, what have we been taught all of our life about shame and guilt? I mean, sometimes some of us could use a little more shame, I think. I'll note Ken Wheeler in that. He said it today. And you know what? It's not wrong. But also, for a lot of us who grew up in like those spaces where it was heavy, or religious trauma, and that goes countrywide, you know, and here in a lot of places. So it turns in on the self, and then it makes the journey a little bit longer, and it makes it harder. It's like a mechanism for the ego to protect itself from understanding how close it is, because the closer it comes to spirit, the less control it has, the ego, as a thing in itself, as a defense mechanism for the 3D body. And I'm gonna start to end this here. I've got another video coming out about the narcissist empath dynamic, and this is gonna lead into that, because it's such a dichotomy. So I think I'm gonna finish watching this sunset. Can I turn all the way around? Oh my God, my stomach's hurting. There we go. Oh God, it hurts. So yeah, I'll get into that. And I fucking lost my train of thought a little bit there. The sunset kind of got me. But that dynamic, learning from that higher view, being so close to one end to the other, and the narcissist empath dynamic, on an energetic scale, not on a human layered in dimension of intention scale, but way out, has something to do with black holes. Anyway, that's enough of that. We'll get to it in the next round. Yeah. Enjoy your sunset.